So this morning I want to talk a little bit about a scripture in Revelation 11 and verse 18. And here's how it's written in the King James. And the nations were angry. What does that mean? Does that mean Israel too? No, it actually does not. You see, the word nations is ethnos in Greek. You'll find it in 1484 in the Greek portion of the Strong's Exhaustive Concordance. And it literally means a race, a nation's people, the nations distinct from Israel. In other words, the nations that are not Israelite were angry. Why? And thy wrath is come. Oh, they were angry because it says, O Jehovah Elohim Almighty, which are and was and are to come, because you have taken to you great power and have reigned. In other words, he has taken the mantle of rulership of the world at this particular point in time, and the nations were angry because of it. All right. And your wrath has come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, that you should give reward unto your servants, the prophets, the saints, that's the Kadesh, the Jews, and, oh, there's another group of people, isn't there? And those that fear your name, Onoma, that's a name, authority, and a cause, small and great, and that you should destroy them which destroy the earth. Now, Daniel 9 and verse 27 alludes to this. You see, the desolator must be desolated. And the word, the earth, in this case is gay. In Greek, 1093 means the land, and that is usually in reference to the land of Israel. So it is time for the desolator, the one who desolated Israel, the one who desolated Jerusalem, to be made desolate. Okay. Now, and them that fear your name. Okay. Now, I've gone over this word before. It does literally mean name, but it also can mean character, fame, reputation, or a cause or an authority. Okay. In this particular case, it actually means the actual name. And where it was written on the thigh of the one riding on the white horse, the cause is more aptly descriptive, because the word of Jehovah, as written in the prophets, is about salvation of Israel. That is Jehovah's cause, and on his thigh, and he makes war. His cause is the promises that were written, that came out of the mouth of the Father. Okay, so in this particular case, it's actual, the definition should be name. Here's why I know this. If you go to Joel 2 Joel 2 backs up my argument. Actual name. Okay. Now, at the time when he pours out his spirit upon Joel's people, that's right, Joel's people, that's Israel. You can read this in verse 28, 29, 30, 31 of Joel 2. And then 32, it says, and it shall come to pass. I'm going to read it the way King James says it, and then I'm going to read it the way it's supposed to be said. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be delivered, for in Mount Zion and Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as the Lord has said, in the remnant whom the Lord shall call. All right. His name is not the Lord. That's the name of Baal. We went over that, I believe it was yesterday, the day before yesterday. The name the Lord is the name of Baal or Baal. So, what is the name? Is it a name that we are supposed to replace with another name? Okay, so we'll go to Strong's Concordance once again, and we're going to find out what this name is. So let's go to verse 32, Strong's Concordance, 3068. It is Jehovah. Now, there are no vowels in the Hebrew language, so let's not get into the vowel argument. And for short, this name is Yah. Every vowel sound is actually a schwa sound in Israel, just so you know. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call or proclaim. That word is kara, 7121 in Hebrew, to call, to speak it openly, to proclaim the name, and to read the name. That's what it says. This is what I'm doing on my YouTube channel, on my YouTube video today. I know it's very likely that the amount of people who are going to listen to this video can be counted on one hand. Well, if one person gets it because of this video, then I consider this video to be a success. Okay. Shall be delivered. Now, for in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as Jehovah, not the Lord, has said, and in the remnant, it's the last generation, the survivors of the last generation, in whom Jehovah will call. Not might call. No, he's going to call that last generation. Okay? Of Israelites. Now, what this does, what verse 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 of Joel 2 does, is it puts the definition of the name in Revelation 11 and verse 18. It narrows it down to the actual name. Okay? The actual name. Where there's no wiggle room. You can't make an argument that it means something else anymore. You see? All right. Now we know what his name is. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read a part of an article by a medical doctor about names. Now, some of it's a little bit off subject, but there's enough there to where I believe you're going to get a little deeper understanding of why saying a person's name correctly is very important. The article is on kevinmd.com. And the title is Call People by Their Rightful Name. It matters more than you think. There are several Tumblr sites where people submit their actual name and compare it to the name the Starbucks employee writes on the cup. I don't go to Starbucks. I'm a country boy. I don't do such things, okay? But let's use Starbucks as an example, shall we? Their Starbucks name failed, the Starbucks name game. Starbucks can't spell my name, and that's not my name, Starbucks. Now, I don't think I need to read many more of this. What you just read is that people get offended when you don't get their name right. Even when it sounds similar. People want you to spell their name accurately. Now, if people consider it an act of disrespect when somebody gets their name wrong, even accidentally, how much more disrespect is it when you deliberately get their name wrong? And yet, I mentioned in Jeremiah 25 yesterday that Jehovah our Father in heaven, the creator of all things, accuses the preachers of deliberately using the name the Lord or Baal so that the people will forget his name. Okay? I may have to go back to that and find it yet again. I think it's in Jeremiah 25. No. See, let's see. It's in Jeremiah 23. Here we go. Jeremiah 23, verse 27. We'll start in verse 26. How long shall this be in the hearts of the prophets that prophesy lies, or preachers that preach lies? Yes, they are preachers of deceit of their own heart, which think to cause my people. This kind of terminology is deliberately devise a scheme to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams, which they tell every man to his neighbor, as their fathers have forgotten my name and replaced it with Baal or the Lord. Okay, so just by the first paragraph of one article, I've been able to prove that people, just by misspelling someone's name, just by misspelling it, consider it an act of disrespect. If that's an act of disrespect, then what is replacing the name of Jehovah for the Lord? Baal. What is that? Anybody have an answer? It is an act of maliciousness. That's right. It is malicious disrespect and disregard for the Creator. It's with malice. Now, let's go back to Revelation then, 11. And them that fear your name. What is the word fear? Let's go and find out. It is phobio. This is where we get the word phobia today. Yes, English language is based in Greek. It sure is. But now let's dig a little deeper. Let's not get carried away here. The definition of phobio is to put to flight, terrify, or frighten. Now we have to get context. Usage. I fear, dread, reverence. Am afraid, terrified. So, the words fear, dread, afraid, and terrified must be used in conjunction with reverence. Getting a little closer. Now let's look up the word reverence, shall we? The word reverence, deep respect for someone or something. In this case, the name. And the name must be used. When you go to Joel 2, you'll realize that the reverence is in proclaiming the name, to using the name, not hiding from the name, using the name correctly and in reverence. High esteem, hold that name high esteem, high regard, with great respect, acclaim, admiration, appreciation, estimation, and favor. And the preachers who use the name the Lord, they call themselves reverend. That's out of malice. That's not an accident. That's malicious. You're not to call any preacher reverend. That only belongs to the name of Jehovah. Oh, what about Jesus? What about? There's no name of Jehovah in the name Jesus. There never was. But the name Jehovah is in Yehoshua, isn't it? Because Yehoshua comes in the name of Jehovah. There never was the name of Jehovah in Jesus or Jesus. Never was and never will be. Once again, name replacement that has been perpetrated by your preachers who call themselves reverend, who call themselves father, names, titles that do not belong to them, maliciously disrespected and trod underfoot the name of our Father in heaven, Jehovah, by calling him the Lord and by changing the name of Yehoshua to the name of a false Greek god. Your preachers did this. It is written in Jeremiah 23. Your preachers did it. And those of you who follow this, you are walking in the path of disrespect, lack of reverence, and treading the name underfoot as if it were an unclean thing. Acclaim. Praise, applaud, cheer, commend, approve, welcome, pay tribute to, speak highly of his name. Well, that is my intention here in this YouTube video. Compliment, celebrate, sing praises of, rave about, heap praise upon, wax lyrical about, lionize, exalt, admire, hail, extol, honor. And the greatest dishonor that you can put upon that name is to replace it with the Lord or some other name that does not deserve any kind of respect at all. This is what Christianity has done. So, give reward to your servants, the prophets, and of course, the apostles are included in the prophets, and to the Jews, the saints are the Jews, the holy people, the Kadosh, Kadesh, however you pronounce it. Do you want your name? Do you want you to be among those who get that reward? Wouldn't you like that? Well, I've just showed you how to respect, have reverence for the name of our Father in heaven, Jehovah. Do it. Have that respect for it. Have that reverence for it. Say his name correctly. Don't replace it with the name the Lord. And do not use the name Jesus or Jesus in replacement of Yehoshua. Do that. Them that fear your name, small and great. Well, that would include Gentiles too. Let me show you something. The churches in Asia Minor. Let's see. John was the last apostle alive at that time. Paul was dead. So a final message was sent to the 7 churches in Asia Minor. Okay? Go to Revelation 3. And to the angel, verse 7, to the angel of the church of Philadelphia write these things, says he that is holy, says he that is true, he that has the key of David. That's the keys of Jerusalem. The man at the Vatican does not have that. He has the keys to the abyss. There is a difference. He that opens, opens the door to the kingdom of David, and shuts. No man shuts, and no man opens. I know your works. Behold, I have set before you an open door. Why? Why is he setting before the people of the congregation of Philadelphia an open door? Why is he doing this? Any ideas? That no man can shut, for you have a little strength. They have done two things: kept his word and have not denied his name. Oh, you mean to tell me that the name, saying it accurately and proclaiming it instead of denying it, you can walk right into the kingdom in Jerusalem just like that? That's what the implication is here. It says, because you have kept my word and have not denied my name. Okay. The word deny is in 720 in Greek, it's arneomai. To deny, refuse, hence to contradict. Contradict? Okay. We just read in Jeremiah 23 that Jehovah, our Father in heaven, considered it a contradiction to call him by the name of Baal or the Lord. Jesus is in honor of Zeus. Now, if you go to Revelation 2, here's what you're going to see in verse 12 through verse 13. To the angel of the church of Pergamos. Where's Pergamos? Pergamos is in Asia Minor, otherwise known as Turkey. Today, it used to be Greece. And the altar of Zeus was located in Pergamos. Now, listen carefully. And if you want to know what contradiction is, I will show it to you. I know your works, even you dwell where Satan's seat is. The altar of Zeus at that time was Satan's seat. Now he gets even more descriptive. And you held fast to my name versus Zeus. You held fast to my name and have not denied my faith, even in the days wherein Antipas was my faithful martyr. What happened to Antipas? They cooked Antipas alive inside the bull, Zeus, at the altar of Zeus. Satan. Jesus is in honor of Satan, in direct contradiction of the name of Yehoshua. You see, so if you fear Jehovah's name, you will call the one who comes in his name Yehoshua. Now, all right. John 5, verse 43. I mentioned this before. I am come in my Father's name, and you receive me not. That was in the particular generation where the Messiah was introduced to the Jews. And now we have a generation of Gentiles who reject the one who came in Jehovah's name. They don't accept him. No, they want the one who comes in Zeus's name, Satan's name. And if someone else comes in his own name, you will accept him. That's exactly what Christians have done. Now, I say since Constantine, but Paul would say even in his own time. I'll show you. Second Thessalonians 2, verse 7. For the mystery of iniquity is already at work in his days. It had already started. Paul was fighting against it, but it was a losing battle. After he died, there weren't many people who held fast to the name. There were some in Pergamos who did, and the group in Philadelphia, both in Asia Minor, did. It really doesn't mention that the others did. Just those two groups. And of course, after John's death, what do you think happened? If the mystery of iniquity was already at work, what is the mystery of iniquity? Denying the name. Switching it to another in honor of Zeus. This is what your preachers have done. And it was written over 2,000 years ago. Probably more like 2,500 years ago that this is what the preachers do. They replace the name of Jehovah maliciously and deliberately, so that the people would forget that name. Now, once again, if nobody gets it today, if nobody understands or gains understanding as a result of this video today, this video is still a success. Why? Because, as it is written in, I believe it's the seventh angel, seventh trumpet. Revelation 11 and verse 18, and the nations were angry, and your wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that you should give reward unto your servants the prophets, unto the Jews, and them that fear your name, small and great. Now, I would like my name to be placed with the holy people and with the prophets. I want to be with them. And for that reason, I will proclaim the name of Jehovah. I will acclaim his name and reverence his name, even if the winds of lies try to tell you otherwise. And I know I'm not the only one who does this, but here's my point. To loudly proclaim that name in reverence and honor, give it its rightful recognition, that will put your name among those that will receive the reward, the prophets, the apostles, the Jews, all Israel, and all who give reverence to his name, both small and great. And that's my reason. That's my reason for this YouTube video. If there is no other reason, there's a reward in it. And it's backed up by Joel 2. So get his name right, say it right, explain it to other people so that they can get it right, so they can have their names listed among the prophets, the holy people, the Kadosh, the Kadesh, and your own name, like I said, your own name written among them. How hard is it? It's not hard at all. Get the maliciousness out of your heart, the hatred for your creator out of your heart, and give him the respect, the admiration, and the reverence that he deserves.